The KTM 690 Enduro R has been virtually unchanged since its introduction in 2008, and the changes they did make have made it probably the best. The 690R, for what it was created for, has no better, but only maybe a handful of sort of equals depending on who you talk to. There's two types of dual sport riders out there. There's those that have seen them and those that have ridden one. The ones that have ridden them, yeah, they're going to go buy one. The ones that have seen them, they're still going to go find a way to go buy one. Why is it the best? Yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it on the Rand Ride.
Look what happened. I woke up in a big old pile of money. Hey, all you KTM guys, come on. I'm Team Warren. Don't think I'm coming down on you. I, on the other hand, and you on the other hand, and a lot of people on the other hand. So why don't we have a 450? That's a competitor for a lot of ice. But here's my thinking.
Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Friday. Hope everybody had a fantastic 4th of July and everybody got unscathed and didn't lose any fingers. Anyway, hey, the KTM 690 Enduro R. Why is it probably the best dual sport / enduro ever created? Well, look at it. I mean, just look at it. If you've never got to put your hands on one, have ever ridden one, then guess what? You don't really have too much of a leg to stand on. This bike is nothing short of phenomenal. It's not truly a 100% enduro, even though it says enduro on there. And the reason being is because guess what? It has intervals as a standard dual sport motorcycle. Yeah, around 4,000 miles between oil changes. So why does that put that in the category of a dual sport? Well, because enduros are done in hours. This is not done in hours. This is done in miles. Anyway, you know what? Let's ride and talk about all the things that make this such a fantastic bike and why people bash it all the time. Stick around. Yep, the KTM 690 Enduro R, nothing short of amazing. It's a fantastic bike. If you've never had a chance to ever sit on one, drive one, get it out on the trail. Tell you what, it is something just nothing more than amazing. Let's ride about it. Let's talk about it on the Rant and Ride. Anyway, hey, happy Friday. Hope everybody had a great 4th. You know, the KTM, let's get into it. Hey, first off, you know what? We appreciate everybody. I just always love to give a thanks to everybody, and thanks for stopping in and spending your Friday with me and giving your comments, thumbs ups, and all that good stuff down below. Don't forget, at the end of the video, I'm going to announce our giveaway and the day that we're going to do that. And make sure you got to go to 690adb.com, sign up, be registered so that you can get in so that you can win. If you're not registered, you can't win because it is a random raffle. Anyway, the KTM 690 Enduro R, yeah, it was introduced in 2008. And I know what everybody's thinking. They're like going, you know what? You're just a KTM fanboy. And you're just this because you own one and blah, 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 blah. Well, no, that's not exactly it. I've owned a lot of motorcycles, and I love all of them. And I don't down another motorcycle. Find a video where I bash a bike, and I will give you full kudos. You ain't going to find it. Good luck. I do. I love them all. Even the ones that I just feel that I don't understand why they did what they did. You know, I still am highly interested in that bike. The reason being, that's why I made a video on it. But anyway, back to the 690. 2008 to 2019, the real changes are minimal. It's not much other than just things that they basically saw were an issue, and they fixed it and made it a much, much better bike. The LC4 has been around for over 10 years, and it is a fantastic motor. So everybody's like, oh, you know what? It's not reliable, and it's overpriced. Well, let's start off on the reliability portion of it. You know what? I hear it all the time from everybody. Well, KTM's not reliable as Honda. Ah, phooey. You know what? I'm not going to sit there and say that it's more reliable, but I will say that it is pretty much as reliable for any competition bike that is in the same category as this one. You're not going to find a whole lot of data on how unreliable it is. What, you're going to go pull what? Maybe 100, maybe write-ups on a forum or a guy that made a video, really? That's your beef? And that's how you're going to stand behind that? Come on, man. There are problems with all motorcycles. Makes, models, it doesn't matter what you got. There's going to be problems with it. As far as reliability, yeah, it's as reliable as anything out there. I get tired of hearing about that stuff on its reliability level, that the Japanese bikes are just so much more superior. That used to be the fact. It is not anymore. KTM is just reliable, and you know what? And it's a high-performance bike, and it will do way more than 95% of all dual sport bikes straight out of the factory that are out there. On to cost. Yeah, it's overpriced. You know, I'd never buy one because it cost $11,000. Well, like I said, you know what? You can't go to a steak restaurant and have enough money to buy a hamburger. So, and then bash the steak restaurant. Here's the deal. You're getting what you're paying for. You just can't afford it, so it's easier to bash the bike. So, at the end of the day, does it make sense to bash something because you can't afford it? It's okay. Save your pennies, save your dimes, save your dollars. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can afford it, you will go buy one, especially if you've ridden it. And if you haven't ridden one, then you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. Go ride a KLR 650 and then hop on a 690 and tell me which bike you would pay for. And I know what everyone's saying. Everyone's going, well, KLR 650s, $6,500. Well, they don't make them anymore. And yes, they are $6,500. Is this bike $4,000 more better than the KLR? Depends on what you're doing. I say yes. And I got a lot of people that will back that up. And it's okay to want something. So like I said in the intro, there's two kinds of people. There's guys that rode one and are ready to go buy one. And then there's guys that have seen one, touched one, sat on one, and said, man, I gotta save my money. Because I'm telling you right now, this bike, for what it was built, there really is no better. And you can put it down in the comments, and you can sit there and write all you want to write, and you're never gonna change my mind. And you're not gonna change a lot of people's minds. It's not gonna happen. And the reason being is because there's not. The Honda CRF 450L, nope, it's not. Because guess what? It doesn't have the street manners, and it can't do what this thing will do on the highway. Now, will it be able to do what it can do off-road? Sure it can. But this right here will do it just as well. Remember, it all comes down to the rider. So anyway, back to the equal. I know that there's people out there, and it's coming, the Husky 701. Well, keep in mind, 701 was built by KTM. And it would have never happened if it wasn't for KTM. It's just a different bike in different clothing, but it is a KTM. Huskies are fantastic, marvelous bikes. And I know I'm going to get comments going, you're just blah, blah. Look, what I'm saying is that the KTM built the 501 and the 701. And the 701 is the only real, true competition that is actually being manufactured to this day. Nothing else out there is even in the same category. They will all get you to point A to point B, and they'll all go off-road, they'll all do everything. They just won't do it as well as the 690. The 701, fantastic bike. It's just about the only thing that's out there that is the true competition to this bike right here, the 690 Enduro R. What do you think? And if you think I'm crazy, put it down below. Tell me how I'm wrong. But don't go in there and make a lot of comments and saying, you know what, 690, the 400 is blah, 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 blah. It's not. This thing will smoke a 400. It's not even close. It'll do more off-road, and it'll do more on-road. Doesn't matter what bike you put up. I'm going to comment right behind you, and I'm going to tell you why. And I love the bike you ride, so don't think that I'm putting your bike down. I'm just telling you that overall, it's not better than this bike. So, I'm Joe, 690ADV, 690ADV.com. Make sure you go and get signed up so that you can be part of our giveaway. Our giveaway will be the very last weekend of the end of the month. And the day exact, I'll put that up because I just don't know exactly what I want to do. I try to do them on a Saturday, so that's what our goal is. It'll be a good one. It's going to be a cool item that you're going to be able to throw in your bag, and everybody can use one. One 100%. So what do you think? Is the KTM, can you find all the reasons to go in and bash and say that it's not better than your bike or the other bike? When in all reality, your bike is fantastic. It's just not better. And it won't do more than this bike. Hands down, end of discussion, no way around it. KTM 690 Enduro R is probably the best dual sport bike ever built. And there was really only one true competition outside of the 701, and I already did a video on it. That's the Honda 650R. And they don't make them anymore. And you know what? If they did, I'd go get one. You know why? Because that bike was a beast. Put an electric start on it and all those other little things that it needed, and I tell you what, you would have had the most competition, if not the best, on the planet. Anyway, I'm Joe, 690 ADV. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and I appreciate you Friday. 690 out.